participated in what was happening around and saw himself rising up to beat or taking a beat that a lot of us have not been able, although we have been in the system. I've always argued that to some extent, Africans do not participate. I recall that during the pandemic, we're still within the pandemic a little bit, but the height of it when they were recruiting or asking people to get involved, volunteering, taking medicine from one location to another. A person like yourself, you volunteer, you body for, you sacrifice a bit of your time. Not paid for, but you did something for the country. On the 5th of May, we know local elections are happening. We know whatever happens, decision that at that local level, what message you have for Africans who are in the UK who will be eligible to take part in that event? What message you have?
Well, my message to Africans, and I hope we have enough of them that have already been participating in the politics, because what we tend to do is, we run away and shy away from politics. And I think the reason why a lot of Africans run away from politics is probably maybe some are still having nightmare of politics, how it is played in African countries, where it's either the money politics or being threatened, even to become a politician. It's a different thing entirely if you're living in in Europe or probably in the United Kingdom. So on the 5th of May, we'll be having, I've received my polling card, and I know when and how and when I'll be voting and what to vote politics. For. But we hope that a lot of Africans will do the same thing by coming out to vote. So that we can have representatives, especially with our children that are now also growing up here in the country. Some of us are probably the 3rd or the 4th or the 5th generation, and we can't sit behind a fence and complain until you wake up and realize that the packing that is meant to have not been have been slashed on you in your own locality. So we hope and we encourage a lot of Africans to participate wherever you are, to make sure that not just voting, let's be part members of either of the political party, so that we can have equal representative when the time comes.
Right. Thank you very much, Olami. Let's progress to the headlines.
Well, quite a lot is happening, especially with the nomination form of the APC that has now been given to just about 100 million. So if you are not in that bracket of having stagged amount of money, you will not be able to become a candidate. 100 million naira is the figure that has been put together for those that wants to be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the headline this morning, quite a lot of them, and I'm going to be taking them as quickly as we can. Once again, if you've just joined us, you are now watching Star Radio UK at 16 minutes past, because I did reboot the system, so we're just waiting for some of those things to come back on. But let's quickly look at those headlines. At the close of nomination, APC pegs presidential form at 100 million naira. That is a lot of money. But like I said, would a youth have any opportunity, to be given opportunity when you don't have such amount of money? This is also a debate that is already going on as we speak right now. Also, the wife of the president that have probably lived most of her time in Dubai returned back to Nigeria, and she will be praying for Nigeria, because of the insecurity in the country. So some of the headline, that we saw says that Aisha Buhari invite Tinubu, Atiku, and other aspirants for Ramadan dinner, blocks them from coming in with phones. Not sure why they don't want to allow them to have phones in the Ramadan, but we can say Aisha Buhari visit Nigeria to host Ramadan prayer for peace and security of the country. That is the headline coming out as well this morning. As we go into some of the other headline as well, again, still a lot of insecurity in Nigeria, and also Garba Shehu is saying that there is a good reason to the president giving pardon to some of those that have committed offense and some of those that have also been kept in the prison as well, for a lot are already complaining about. So what we can say from the next headline as well this morning is telecom consumers set to sue federal government and demand policy suspension. I'll be giving you a bit of background to that. A lot of Nigerians woke up, even though they've been told and they've been advised that they will have their phone or their SIM card blocked because they've not registered that. The telecommunication subscriber under the aegis of the National Association of Telecom Subscribers have said they are set to drag the federal government to court in May in a bid to temporarily suspend the government barring of subscriber outgoing calls. On Monday, April 4, the federal government ordered the telecom companies to bar outgoing calls on all lines that have yet to link their national identification number and subscriber identity modular. As a result of these, 72.77 million active telecom subscribers were barred from making calls on their SIMs. And you can imagine trying to get through to your loved ones back home, and yet you can't go through because their SIM has been barred. The World Bank is talking, and as we know, just as the World Bank advised government across the world and most especially African countries, the headline says, rethink your policy on fuel subsidy. World Bank tells Nigeria, according to what we know, insists the rich benefit more from fuel subsidy than the poor people, says barriers distorting country trade flows. Obina Chima in Washington and Nuno in Lagos. The president of World Bank Group, Mr. David Malpass, has once more reiterated the need for Nigeria's federal government to reconsider its policy on fuel subsidy, saying that the huge amount being expanded on the policy could be channeled to other critical sectors. Malpass said this yesterday while responding to questions from one of the paper during a media briefing at the ongoing World Bank International Monetary Fund spring meeting in Washington, D.C. The Senate last week approved the total amount of 4 trillion naira subsidy in 2022. The figure represented the amount contained in 2 separate requests by the President of the National Assembly for approval. The President had in letter to the legislature dated 10th of February 2022 sought an additional 2.5 trillion to fund the subsidy payment from July to December. The question then again is, who benefit from this huge amount of money that is subsidy, as we know? I'm going to take one more and then come straight back to you in the studio because of time constraint this morning as usual. Fund varsity from the 4 trillion subsidy. So you can see that the ASU is telling the federal government, why not fund the university from the 4 trillion subsidy budget? ASU tells the federal government, as we speak right now, all the universities in Nigeria, apart from the private ones, are still on strike. The president and academic staff union of the university, Professor Emmanuel Osideke, has accused the federal government of not giving priority to the tertiary education. According to him, the government had addressed the issue of fuel subsidy with a budget of 4 trillion, just as the World Bank was advising, why not channel that to some other sector? And that's exactly what ASU is saying. Speaking during a program on Wednesday yesterday, Osidek asked the government to take 200 billion naira from the 4 trillion budget for subsidy to address the challenges of his members, thereby putting an end to the industrial action embarked upon by the union. Osidek said it is always funny that the government cannot raise 200 billion to revamp all Nigerian universities annually to the world standard. The same government can raise 4 trillion for subsidy, or for subsidy rather. This is Star Radio UK 1122. Let me come back again slightly to you in the studio as we continue to review all the news coming out of Nigeria this particular morning.
Olayomi, thank you very, very much. Let's start with subsidy. I mean, personally, I do have a bit of knowledge in that area, and sometimes throughout our policy from the 1980s, Nigeria, the South African countries, The World Bank and IMF have dictated to us exactly what on this issue about subsidies. I mean, to some extent, you have to agree with the World Bank and you have to disagree. The reason being that if you look at the chunk of subsidies that is paid, who is it benefiting? That's a good question that we ask. And they're saying it's benefiting the richest more. Yes, it's benefiting the richest more. Is removing of subsidy the answer? In my view, no. Because at the end of the day, when you remove the subsidies, you're going to again affect disproportionately individuals from between subsidies, remove or not. And that is where the policy advantage comes. That's why we've not been able to think as Africans to become institutions. I've always argued that look, remove the subsidies from the tour, this Ghana, Nigeria, from the point of purchase. So, Olami, you and I go today to go and buy fuel. At that very time, we buy something that is commercially available to us. People who are qualified, like civics, who travel, transport, and other things like this, what do? They claim back some amount of money. Businesses do claim back some amount of money. If today I decide to put fuel in my S5, drive all the way from here to Manchester to go and visit a girlfriend, the girl I met on Facebook, why should a poor taxpayer be paying that subsidy? It makes no sense. If someone jump on what do you call it, a 4.5 Land Cruiser, driving all the way from Abuja, trying to meet their mistress somewhere in the village, why should a poor person pay for that? So we should come out with policies that will ensure that productive activities, public transport are subsidized. What do you call it? Motor keke, those who do commercial transport are subsidized. Those who are using it for, let's say, ferry of goods and other things are subsidized. But private individuals who drive certain type of cars should not be subsidized. So it's a question of how do we. But I've written a paper on this. I've submitted to about 2 governments. How do we come to the midpoint? And I think there's an answer, but we are failing to take. There's a clear answer, and we are failing to take. So for me, I agree, remove the subsidy, but there must be an alternative to pushing. I mean, because once you remove it, expect the rich people who afford, they don't care about that, they will afford. But food prices is well, transport prices is well, the ripple effect on the wider environment. And those who are going to suffer more again are going to be the poor. So that is a policy area that we lack. And our governments, what they're going to do now, so World Bank says we should remove something. Normally, if you borrow money from World Bank or IMF, for example, they tell you, okay, we have been told to remove subsidies, and therefore we are removing the subsidies. And the impact on the poor is so big. Then that's what is happening over the years. So,
well, yeah, and you're quite right. And just to buttress on that, the question then still goes back to, for 60 years, we couldn't build a better refinery where we wouldn't have been taking our crude oil outside the country to be refined. And I was looking at the Central Bank of Nigeria this morning in one of their the update, literally saying that our foreign reserve is getting better. At the moment, it's not something to be proud of. I mean, we're just about the external reserve return to growth had gains about 243.83 million extra dollar onto it. And the whole reason is they're stressed on the output. We are not producing anything literally for the last 60 years. We are a consumer country, even though we've not been given a accurate census. We've always been told we are 200 million, but a lot of Nigerians we really need to know whether we are 200 million, because if in some state, like KANU has 44 local government and produce less, and Lagos State, where almost everything comes through, has 22 local government. From what the CBN revealed in its data on the movement in the reserve, that the value rose from $39.54 billion in April 2022 to 39.78 billion in April 19. But again, the reason why we are discussing, subsidy or no subsidy, it's just because we don't have what it takes, to refine what belongs to the, to the people, not to the government. I mean, we're talking about, the crude oil that is being found in different part of the, the state across, Nigeria as it is. And these are some of the boiling questions that we are asking, and not just myself, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, the leader of Redeemed Christian Church of God, 3 weeks ago said, and I quote, 80% of the income for Nigeria is literally in the hands of few Nigerians, and the rest of the 20% is what everybody is trying to get. And if people cannot get to the university because the government cannot pay, the lecturers, we have millions of Nigerians that are all over the country, and Nigeria still remains the capital poverty of the world. Yet those individuals are not subsidized for food intake, where we have massive food supply, and people can literally go in either with a voucher to any of the big stores. The government can literally do that. They can work with the ShopRite or any other reputable stores, and people can go in, not literally giving them cash, but you can subsidize them by giving them a voucher, and they can walk in and get in a certain amount of produce and take it back home for their loved ones. The question is, who is really enjoying from this subsidy that the government want to fund?
I mean, Olami, for those who listening to us, and I will be ready to share, the policy document with Nigerian authorities if they want, the embassy. We can share our ideas with them. We'll say that can share with Bangladesh. The implementing, they put it on board, they implement something similar. If Nigerian authorities will share it, it's free. We can share it with them. But I do believe, and I've been asking about it, actually, that I've written papers and I've sent it to the Ghanaian government. Because, look, we need to be progressive, and the little that we have, we need to make judicial use of it. I do not agree in removing subsidies from that the poor benefit. Because at the end of the day, we disproportionately punish them. If you look at this time, 3 days ago, there was a committee of energy CEOs that were at the parliamentary committee. One idea, when they're looking at the cost of living and the impact the energy crisis is having on the poor, one idea they said, look, why can't we put the social tax where people who can afford the energy bills are charged £200 more, so that those who cannot afford are suffering. So the system is always thinking, how do we help the most vulnerable in our society? When it comes to Africa, we do not consider human beings. We do not consider the poor old woman that is struggling every morning to make some money at the market, or to make some money somewhere in Lagos to survive. We do not think about them. We just count them. We don't even count them as numbers. We just say, oh, these people. But in this country, and most advanced, any progressive country will be thinking consciously, how do we help the poor vulnerable in our society? And I think this subsidy issue opens up another avenue for us to have a conscious discussion as to what we can do. In the past, in the 1980s, when the structure adjustment through the 1990s, we just swallowed whatever was told us, we move the subsidies, the value naira, do everything, and we devalue our currency, foreign blind. This time round, let's engage, let's continue. We have a lot of Nigerian intellectuals. Let's sit down around the table and see, how do we take the little that we have, help the good brother? And I think we can go along with that.
Well, you're quite right. You're quite right. And just as we say, this is Star Radio UK 11/31/21 April 2022. And you can also make sure you follow us on all our social media handles. But if you're sending money home, remember to use send waves to get the money across to your loved ones, either in Nigeria or African countries. Remember, if you're using it for the first time, you can also use the Star Radio code, which is S for Star Alpha Radio. And we come back again to some other headlines and updates coming out of Nigeria and outside as well. At the early hours of this morning, one of the Yoruba self-determination media was almost killed with his wife and the children, and there is evidence from what we know that the person that made this threat to the life of these Yoruba self-determination media, known as Casmo Media, there's a young man named Okonlawo in America that did a video It's not the first time we believe he's done something similar. He has said that if anybody can give him the data of Kasmo Media to the tune of 200,000 naira, he will make sure that it's dealt with. In under a couple of days, at the early hours of this morning, we can now confirm that Kasmo Media was almost killed in his house with the children, with a live video that he was making out of the house. The case has already been, being reported as we speak right now, to the local police in Nigeria, and also more further details will be taken. So again, this shows, the kind of individuals, not just the government. We also have individuals that do take law into their hands in terms of a threat to life. And the question I'm asking, would you make a life threat to someone if you live in UK and say, I will look for your details for £200 or $200 and make sure that you are dealt with? Again, this is part of the headline coming out of Nigeria this morning.
The other thing I would suggest on that, such individuals should also report it to the social media of the brokers and operators. And then some of the once the threat is made live, take it seriously. Shouldn't think that the person is Roger, the person is to start the next time that I left report such people to the social, because they use that as a way of reaching out to people who might even get to them. So look, if you give me £100, give me $200, I'll give you $100. So let's try any individual that we find trying to interest like, look, we can judge or we can dialogue, we can disagree, we can read. We might not even see eye to eye ever, but that does not mean that we retain a right in someone's life. No, that is part of the question.
Yes, you're quite right. And I've been given, I'm told it's not Okolomo, it's Okolomo. It's based somewhere in America. And, more information on, is being, looked into that particular, incident. The picture behind us is one of the so many people that were killed during the, Kaduna train bomb terrorist attack. Dr. Chinelo Nwado Magafo will be laid to rest today at Ebony Private Cemetery in Ikoyi in Lagos State. Let us remember she was killed by the terrorists during the Abuja-Kaduna train attack on the 28th of March 2022. And we pray for her and also pray for others that were also affected. As we speak right now, more Nigerians are still being announced. And if you look at this headline, when this incident happened, Kaduna train attack, according to Rotimi Amechi, I warned that the lives will be lost. He's also contesting as a candidate for the 2023 presidential election that is coming up. And again, the question is, do we still allow incompetent individuals that could not protect lives as a minister now coming out to say, I would like to also be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? So quite a lot of candidates are coming out, and also we will continue to monitor that. We do not tolerate and also, allow drivers to continue to assault security personnel back in Nigeria and also any other official. According to this headline, Lagos driver crushes LASTMA official to death. What a very sad news coming from that angle. A yet to be identified driver has crushed an official of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Jamiu Issa, to death in Lekki Aja area of the state. A statement that was issued by the spokesman of the agency, Olumide Filade, confirmed the development yesterday. Filade said the driver was driving against traffic when he rammed into Issa, who wanted to apprehend him for traffic offense. So we pray for the loss of that individual person. Because of time constraint, I'm going to go straight to the social media and then come back again to you in the studio, which is 11:37, and so that we can start bringing the broadcast to an end from this side. So we're going to go straight to what is trending and what is happening. We might maybe speak about this more tomorrow. There was a video of a young girl coming out of a school trip to Dubai, where she was, according to a lot of information, either she was raped or it was a consensual. But these are youth. But the question is, how did we allow a young girl and a young boy kept in the same room where they were having intercourse. The video has gone viral, and we will say to those that are sharing those videos to please desist from sharing such a video, but quite a lot needs to be looked and reviewed to how handling of issues, especially when you're going on. I mean, we do have a lot of our children that go on this kind of trip, whether to weekend vacation in outside London or to France or to Italy. And I'm sure the teachers, the school will be responsible for making sure that, the two sexes do not sleep in the same room or do not have, what we can call a sexual, between them as well. So again, this is quite trending in the last 72 hours. But again,
well, yeah, let me, for a minute, let me just, let's join the make up here. Please, if you're listening to us, the law protects individuals, especially. A lot of us have done things wrong with that. And if mobile phones and others were around at that time, whatever we did were recorded and shared, probably some of us would not have the answer to carry the other systems. We're begging of you, if you receive a big request, it's not technology having to do with children, having to do with children. Please, 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 please. So if you have it on your, if you share it, if you are belong to a group like that, if you belong to a group exactly, you give the person, tell them why you must not that. Because when you are found, yeah,
yeah, yes.
okay,
I'll just go with the I'll just go with the audio because the video is not going to come back on. So
okay,
yeah, we can just wrap it up quickly.
wrap
So
it up.
yeah, so again, just for the benefit of those that are listening to us, the last part of the social media this morning on Starr Radio UK, according to Simon Ekpa at Simon_Ekpa, Nigeria Air Force bombing and killing civilians in Niger State. This is not a mistake. It is to aid the bandit for the Islamic State agenda. The earlier you understand that Boko Haram is in control of the army, the Air Force, and the police, the better for you. Naferati, at first leadership, Peter Obi did not say he will fix Nigeria in 4 years because no one can. He always reiterated it will take more than 10 years to fix Nigeria, which is a commonsensical. Peter actually said he will put Nigeria back on the path of growth in 4 years. That is the fighting chance I speak of. According to Ifafunsho graphics, I believe it is by Biafra nation, Igbo people will be great. I believe it is by Yoruba nation, Yoruba people will be great. I believe it is by Arewa nation, Hausa people will be great. I believe it is by Middle Belt people will be great. No thorough colonial Nigeria. According to Bashegun Alabi, he was one of our guests yesterday and discussing about the update from Ekiti. Cost of nomination form, forthcoming election, president 100 million, governor 50 million, senator 20 million. If you have that kind of money in Nigeria, you stole it or you hope to steal it. Only thieves can apply. If you can't steal, you can't stand for election. And that will be from me this morning on Starr Radio UK. Please don't touch the dial because you still have Frank to take you through with his beautiful reggae raga that he always come through with it. But for me, I'll be saying a very good morning. I'll be joining you again same time tomorrow. Good morning to our brothers all the way in Florida that is watching us and everyone that is watching us from every part of Nigeria, especially those that are already clamoring to say it is a Yoruba nation, a Biafra nation, Arewa nation, or those that still believe in one Nigeria, like Frank will say always. 295 days is countdown. Everything you need to know about that will be discussed during and on Niger Voices on Starr Radio UK every Wednesday. Make sure you tune in next week with the next guest. But are we going to have election or no election? I'm sure with the next tune that Frank will be playing through, we will definitely know. But for me now, I say have a very good morning, and I'll be back again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
Olami, thank you so much. That was Olami breaking all the way from our North London studio breaking the headline from the news in Nigeria. So which way Nigeria?
And I'll be back again same time tomorrow. Bye for now. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I got to go now. A lot of work I got to do behind the scene. Do I go? Bye for now.